the normal human beings, such as myself, our body vibrates at a lower frequency than it should.
Exactly.
And because a lot of things, the electromagnetic fields of contamination.
Right.
Okay. So now, you have a website and you teach people. What is it that you can do?
Well, what my website does, what I do now specifically, and what I've been, is my main purpose on the planet, matter of fact, that's just about everybody's purpose on the planet at this time, believe it or not, was to prepare people to move to a higher state of awareness or higher state of vibrations in their bodies, which would be what is called in a lot of the religious books, heaven on earth.
Okay.
You see what I mean? There is this new world which is heaven on earth, but it's only experienced through the physical body. Now, most religions have taught that you would get to this heaven once you die, but that's not the case. The heaven that is actually happening right now, which I mentioned on my website, is a physical place. And in order to get to that place, your body has to be able to vibrate at a frequency that is harmonious with that frequency. You see what I mean? Like, for example, on a television receiver or any type of transmitter or any type of communication, you have a specific frequency, just like a telephone number, right?
Right.
So the same thing is with the world. The frequency of the physical world you're in now, called the 3D world, the basic vibration is that of carbon. So as you move to the new world, the basic vibration of the new world is actually gold.
Oh.
So you see, the difference is when you're vibrating at the level of carbon, then you cannot be accessible to the world that vibrates at the frequency of gold.
So that's why you say the true Breatharian has 6 precious metals in the bloodstream.
Now, everybody, and if you've noticed on my website, I've been saying this forever and nobody's getting it, everybody is a breatharian. Everybody on the planet at this point came to the world from a world where they did live. They could, if they wanted to, live without eating because it's a totally different substance. But when they came to this world, and the only way you could get to this world is you'd have to come through a body that was in harmony with this particular world, which is a carbon-based world, right?
Right.
When you're born into the body, you're born into that type of body. But the way the evolutionary process works is in order for a society, for a world to move up to a higher level, the bodies are gradually changed. The DNA is changed in the bodies by the new generations that come in.
Right.
Now, have you heard of the crystal children or the children of the indigo children? Have you heard that term?
No, I don't know indigo children. No.
Yeah, you've heard of crystal?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, the indigo, it's the same type of thing. It's just that they have a higher vibration, and their vibrations are compatible with the new world vibration. Do you see what I mean?
Yes.
Oh, but the interesting thing is, this is where I come in. The problem of getting from the carbon-based world, even though the young people coming in probably for the last 30 or 40 years, and maybe even longer, a lot of people, including yourself, you come in with the DNA for the gold and all the 6 precious metals which are in the body, but they are subdued and they're held below activation because they cannot be fully activated in a 3D world. So slowly, the ascension process is being able to change your dieting system so that you're taking in substance that is more 5D in vibration, and taking less of the substance that is 3D substance. You see what I mean? In other words, to sync from 5D into 3D, you have to eat 3D food. And believe it or not, the first 3D food we ate were fruits and vegetables.
Right. So
you see what I mean? So
right.
The story about Adam eating the apple was actually the thing that gave me a clue as to what was going on, because when I stopped eating, when I did my first fast, what you would call it a fast, I never did like to eat since I came here, but I didn't know why.
Mm-hmm.
But when I did look into it, and then every time I would stop eating, I would be so connected, and I'd feel so fearless, and I'd feel so whole, and I'd feel so, as people always say, I felt so godly. And then when I would eat again, immediately my body would change, and I would move into the realm of pain, and negative thoughts would come into the mind and that type of thing. So that's what gave me my clue to start looking in that direction, because, I started out with a problem with the eating, so I had to figure out why it was that, for me, eating was, a strange phenomenon when everybody else on the planet, it seemed to have been quite normal. So the process was for myself, one, to find out, it took years to find out that I wasn't like everybody else in the sense that I do have special capacities that everybody doesn't have, because everybody has a different thing that they came to do. Mm-hmm. And my capacity was that I was able to I was anchored in the higher frequencies, but I could live in the lower frequencies. You see what I mean?
Yes.
So as I moved into the higher frequencies, I thought it would be just very simple. But then as things start to unravel, from the sense that I also found out that the grids around the Earth, or the electrical system around the Earth, had been destroyed, and they had to be replaced. So I was one of those people that worked on the grids around the planet, which is something I had no idea that I didn't know anything about. In other words, there's a spiritual energy pattern around the Earth, which is the foundation of the spiritual side of our physical bodies. You see, the original Earth had these energetic grids around it, so that's why you could live without eating, because the energy came directly from the environment.
Okay.
But those grids were destroyed, and so when those grids were destroyed, that's what sank us down into the third dimensional world. You see, when you don't get the energy from the outside, you must get it from the inside. So that's why the eating process was instigated, because the external grids, which used to support us, were destroyed. So we developed the system of eating, and that's why when I discovered that I could live without eating, I didn't realize that everybody couldn't, because I didn't realize the grids were gone, because I didn't know anything about grids. So you see, there's a lot of information I didn't know when I came here, and it took years and years and years of experimentation on my own path, on my side of it, to understand why everybody couldn't just stop eating. And so that's why I never told anybody to stop eating. But most people did grab on to that part of it, and because it was something that also stretched their minds to a more unlimited state, because they were absolutely set on the idea that they were dying because of the food, or everybody had to eat, and everybody does not have to eat. It just depends on where you are. Now, I didn't know at the time that the Earth, in order to have the air pure like it was, it would have to be the new 5D world that I'm talking about now. See, I didn't know that was going to be the case. So I said the proper environment, I meant a world that had pure air and the lack of all of the electrical interference and the other things that were interfering with the body. But I had no clue that was actually the actual new Earth, which is a duplicate of the old Earth that is in existence right now, which does not have those mechanisms. Now, it just so happens I am able to travel between those worlds, but I can only do that under limited circumstances. And it's not something that everybody can do. So that's why I only do it for a limited number of people. And, of course, if you saw my prices, they're what they are, because the people that have the money also have the qualifications from the viewpoint of energy levels. Most people don't realize money is energy. You hear them talk about it,
right,
but they don't realize in order to have the money externally, it must represent the energy you have internally. So that's why to try to take someone that does not develop the kind of concentration that's necessary to contain that kind of energy into the new world would be impossible, because what I do is that it is something, like I said, I can't do it for everybody, but what I can do, and for the people that I do it for, they also overshadow, as they say, or overlight thousands of other people.